right, so here we are with red light, green light in the futures market. So we had the trade actually indicated back here. I didn't see it. I wasn't around at that time, but I'm here now seeing it right here. So we do have a flagpole at the same time and a flag. So we have some technicals in here for those technical traders. So, but it hasn't broken out of this flagpole yet. So if I get in the trade right now and this does break out of the flag, then this will be an easy winner. But if this flag doesn't hold, then, you know, blah, blah, blah. It's how that story goes. But basically, trading off the algorithm, I could jump in right here. We are like $1 off, 69.87. So we're pretty close, basically $1 off. So total risk is, see, 69.85, 69.6. So we're pretty close. I mean, we're $1 late basically, which is a bummer, but is what it is. Where that really affects me is at the 50% marker when I try to move my stop to break even. I'll still be basically in the red. So I'm going to go ahead and hit this buy button here in just a second. I'm going to look at my other monitor and just kind of see what the algo looks like on the 1-minute chart. And then, or the 5-minute chart actually. So, all right. So basically, what do we got here on the 5-minute chart? All right, cool. So I'm going to put an entry in at 3971.25. 397125. So I'm going to go right here, hit buy. One contract orders in. So if we break above this, then we'll be in this trade. And then if it wants to pull back from here, then I'll be able to look for a lower price entry and get a discount. But right now we got our order in right there. So we'll see if this fills here sometime soon. Might be filling right now. All right, I'll let this just play out. Okay, so I'm going to pull my trade off the table here. So I did have it in if it did break above this, but I'm going to pull it off. And the reason is looking at my, I'm going to show you real quick, actually. Let me pause this. Okay, so over here we have my scalping strategy, or my scalping algorithm. So right here we have an indicator for a short on a 50% retracement of this candle. That's what this algo is telling me right now. So, and that did come down and get its 50% retracement as expected. So over here we don't have anything. And then down here on the 1-hour candle, we have that same indicator as well, looking for a 50% retracement on this in the 1-hour candle. So the thing is, this could trigger a long trade right now, and then you know, and go up and hit its target, and then come back down to this 50% retracement, and this would still be an active trade. But it also has a very high probability of coming down here first before going back up. So I'm going to wait. If we get a retracement on this, I'll take the trade. If we don't, then, you know, I'll miss the trade. Not a big deal. So I'm using my scalper algorithm to help make me more profit by getting better entries, and I do that quite often as well. So anyway, so there you go. So that's why I'm not going to take that trade. If you were just trading off the futures red light green light strategy, then you know, it's indicating a trade, so you're in. So you know, that's telling us we can be in this trade, and you may see profit there before it actually does that other retracement. So anyway, so that's what's going on. That's why I'm not going to take it, and we'll see if it sets up, and then I'll trade it. So I went ahead and put a white line on the chart here, so you can see with an arrow, so that we can see that this was the candle. I'm going to move that arrow over, so we can see that this is the candle that we were looking at when we were just talking about it. So when we show up here in, you know, an hour or 2 hours, whatever it is, then we can see what happened from this point forward. Okay, so I decided to jump into this trade. This is where we talked about it earlier. And then it went up, and it pretty much got the 50% marker. The full retracement of the 1-hour scalping algorithm that I showed you is right here. So not full retracement, but the target of that retracement, I should say. So we technically red light, green light's a winner because it made it the halfway mark. It's a partial winner, not a full winner necessarily yet. It'll have to go here for a full winner. If it comes back down to the entry point or almost the entry point, it'll be a partial winner. So right now, red light, green light's profitable, and the success rate's extremely high, so that it's going to have either a full win or a partial win. So we got our partial win. So that gave me the opportunity to say, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and jump in here because we had resistance right here, right? This is not breaking above this level. So I decided on this candle to go ahead and short this and put my stop just above it. And I'm speed bumping it. I have one contract open, but I have two on my order here. So if it breaks above this resistance level, then chances are, very high chances are, that it's going to achieve the full win on the red light, green light, which means if I speed bump it, I can recover my loss and maybe even make a little profit. So that's the speed bump there. But at the same time, this retracement is still waiting. This is also a very high probability setup. So everything I trade with my algorithms has a proven statistical probability that's very high, like 80% or better. So for most of the stuff, some stuff's a little low, like the 78% range, but this definitely is in the high 80%, 86% range. So there's a very high probability this is also going to be met. So this was met, and now there's a high chance this could be met. So I decided to go ahead and short this here, looking at this, very small risk, and which means I could speed bump it and recover. So basically, I feel like there's almost zero risk with this trade, where I also have a very high probability of a much bigger profit. So tiny risk for big profit, I'm in. No risk for big profit, almost no risk, like 99% no risk for big profit, I'm definitely in. So I decided to go ahead and short it, and that's where we are. We're short right now. Now we're in the profit zone. Shortly, I'm going to move my stop here to break even, just in case this flag holds, and then we see the full achievement of this red light, green light trade. So yeah, so that's where we are. So that's the explanation of why I did what I did. It's 11:05, so there's a lot of time left on this candle. So when I entered this candle right here, I did it towards the close of the candle, because if it closed right here, and this is where my stop is, look at all these wicks, tails, shadows, whatever you want to call them, right? They're to both sides. So these are 30-minute candles. So what that tells me is that at some point, it's not going to close at the high and it's not going to close at the low. So if we're almost closing here, it's great, because then I know that when it does pull back and throw a little wick or shadow, I could still be in the trade. But if it closed up here and it throws a little wick or shadow, I might get stopped out. So if it was closing here, I wouldn't have taken this trade knowing that this was going to be my stop. So I needed to have it closed far enough down that if it did throw a wick or a shadow in the next candle, that I wouldn't get stopped out. So I waited till this candle was about to close to get into this trade. And then, then it did exactly what I expected and started to go down, which is sweet. So this candle just, it's only 5 minutes into this candle. I'm going to wait for this candle to get ready to close, and then I'll figure out where I want to put my stop. If it closes, down here somewhere, I'm going to put my stop above this candle or break even. If it closes back up, pulls all the way back, it's rejected, because it does have some like that. Look at that. So if it gets rejected and closes close, then I'm not going to put my stop here, because the next candle, if it throws a wick and then pulls down, I'm out, right? And it runs without me. So I can't move my stop if that happens. So I need to wait for this to almost close, and then I'll look at where my stop is. Okay, so here we are. We got about 20 seconds before this candle closes. So we're going to go ahead now and move our stop, get rid of that 2 on there, and go back to 1. And we're going to put our stop in down here, break even plus a couple bucks. So now we'll definitely make money in this trade even after commissions. And then we're going to give this a chance to run down and hit this target. So there's plenty of room here if it wants to throw a wick. If it wants to retrace the whole thing, then I'm out, because that's very bullish, and it could potentially break out once it crosses here and go higher. So I don't want to be a part of it at that point. So if anything, I would look at speed bumping it, or not speed bumping it, but getting out here with profit and then entering the trade once it got back above this resistance area, just for a little scalp to this target, because red light, green light said it's either going to go here or all the way here before it goes all the way down here. So it already went here. So now it could come down here and get this, or even further. But if it doesn't and it wants to come back above this, then red light, green light's telling me most likely it's going to hit this target. So I'll take a little profit off here. So this way I don't turn a green trade into a red trade. And then if it breaks above this level, I'll go with what red light, green light said is the second potential, which is right here. And I'll take a little scalp on it that way. So we'll make a tiny little bit of money here, a little bit more money here. But if it does go with what my scalping algorithm is saying, it should retrace to this level down here. So that's what we're looking for. Typically, it'll get there really quick when it hits these scalping levels. And it didn't get there fast on this one. So we'll see. We'll see what it ends up doing. Either way, we have the opportunity. It was very low risk for a high reward. And, and now it's definitely going to be a green trade. I could just take it off the table right here and just say, hey, look, I put 40 extra bucks in my pocket, but I'm going to go ahead and give it an opportunity to wait, and we'll either make a little or we'll make a lot. All right, we'll see what happens. All right, so here we are with a little bit of a green candle showing up here with this red one right here. If this green candle closes above this red candle, I'm going to exit this trade. A lot of times when I see these big red candles like this, it's not a tower candle on any of my algos, but it's still a big candle, and it came back down into this area of support. So if this green one closes back above this red one, I'm going to go ahead and exit that trade. So yeah, we'll see what happens. It's we got about 20 minutes for this candle to close, but I'm going to stick with it, and then wherever it closes is it is what it is. So if it comes all the way back up and gets me out for peanuts, then I'll take my peanuts. But I'm going to give it a chance to roll over and come back down and hit this target. Okay, so here we are. I'm going to go ahead and move my stop to just above this green candle right here, which is 39.68 roughly. And then if I move this over here, you can see it moving over here as well. So 38.6, or if I do it this way, actually, close, exit that. Now see the line over there? So now you can see on the chart moving up and down as well as on the ladder here. So I'm going to put my stop right just above that. Give it a little bit of room. All right, there we go. So now we break that green candle. I'll be out, and I'll take whatever that gives me. All right, so there we go. So we got stopped out of that trade. So it backed up, take our 27 bucks. Yes, I know at one point it was in the 40s. But I wanted to give it a chance to come down and hit this, and it might still do it. I mean, it could retrace a bit of this candle here, this flag, if you will, and then roll over and continue down. But I just don't know. So I'm going to trade what I know, and I'm not going to sit there and hope for what I don't know. And that's all you can do. Take what the market gives you and move on. Okay, so here we are with red light, green light, setting up with trade to the short side. We're green, going to red. Ooh, almost missing it. Get in. All right, cool. So we're in short right here for red light, green light. And this also coincides with my scalper strategy, which still had an open trade. The target was right here. So we should be able to get something out of red light, green light with this. As the scalper strategy, which has a really high success rate, like 86%, will conclude when that target gets hit. So all in all, there's a lot of stuff going for this trade. So we are in short. Okay, so we've made it halfway to the target. So now we're going to go ahead and move our stop down to, actually we didn't even put a stop in. That's not good. So we're going to put our stop in at break even here. Break even plus a couple bucks. So 5.8 is where we're in, 5.825, so 5.725 is break even. 5.625 stop is in. We got about 10 minutes before this candle closes. Hopefully it closes down here so that when it throws a wick, we won't get stopped out, and we can ride it down here and make some profit. So either way, stops in, green trade, and we'll see how it concludes. All right, so sweet, we got through the target. So we're going to go ahead and move our stop to 39.43 is the goal, although we're just right on that number right now. So I'm hoping it'll push through there a little bit, and then I can move my stop there and give it a chance to keep running. But we'll see if we get an opportunity here. This candle closes in 12 minutes, so we got 12 minutes for that to happen. If not, I'll just have to pretty much bounce out. All right, looks like it's happening. All right, we're just going to put it in right there, and then if we get lucky, it'll keep on running, and we'll keep on making money. If not, it'll back up, and it is what it is. Okay, so there we go. So we were out of that trade. So sweet, not a bad deal with a couple little trades there. We'll put that in the log and definitely get in the bed and then wake up tomorrow and see what else we can get.